everyone, this is Indu Sharma, Faculty of Science, Suraj School, Rewari, and today I am here with the human skeleton system. As you can see here, this is the human skeleton system. First, what is skeleton? The framework of bones present in our body is known as skeleton, and this mainly consists of bones and muscles. As there are total 206 number of bones present in a human adult. However, in children there are more than 300 bones present. But what happens? After some time, some small bones fuse together and they form the other bones, right? So in adult person there are 206 number of bones and total muscles are 639. Now, if we talk about the functions, what are the main functions which are performed by the skeleton? First is the protection. As this bony framework helps to protect very soft organs which are present in our body, such as lungs, heart, spinal cord, and also it helps to prevent the collapsing of these soft organs. Otherwise, these organs may collapse with each other and the shapes will become deteriorated. Next thing is the support. This skeleton system provides support to various soft organs such as spinal cord is protected by this vertebral column, lungs and heart are protected by the ribs, and the brain is protected by the skull. Next is the movement. This skeleton system helps in movement of different parts of our body such as forelimbs, hind limbs, shoulders and other parts of the body. Next, formation of the blood cells. As you know that there are three different types of blood cells present, that is red blood corpuscles, white blood corpuscles and platelets. The bones you can see are very hard from outside but they are very soft inside because there is a very soft material which is present inside the bones which is known as bone marrow, and that bone marrow is responsible for the formation of these blood cells. Now, if we talk about different parts of the skeleton system, majorly it is divided into four parts. One is the skull, second is the vertebral column, third is this rib cage, and the fourth are the limbs which are the forelimbs and the hind limbs. Now, if we talk about separately, I will take one by one. First is the skull. It is the topmost part of the body as it contains a very soft organ of the body which is also known as master of the body, which is brain. Now, the upper part of this brain contains total 8 number of bones and the lower part contains 14 number of bones. So, overall, the skull contains 22 number of bones. Now, here there are two sockets for the eyes, two for nose, two for ears and one mouth. Most of the bones in the skull are fixed bones or immovable bones. Only the lower part is there which is movable. Second, when we talk about this vertebral column, also known as backbone or spine, it forms the central supporting rod for the whole of the body, as it consists of 33 very small bones which are known as vertebrae. And this vertebrae, first vertebrae is attached to this hindbrain, and each vertebrae has a hole in it. Through these holes, all these vertebrae are connected with each other, and there is a very soft organ which is known as spinal cord. This spinal cord passes through along whole the length of this vertebral column. Next is the rib cage. These are the very thin, rounded or curved bones which are present in the chest cavity. There are total 12 number of ribs, counting from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? So these are attached to the backbone at the back side and with the chest at the front side, chest bone. One particular feature is that the last two pairs of bones are known as floating bones floating ribs because they are attached with the back side with the backbone but they are free from the chest bone. That is, they are not attached with the chest bone. So these are known as floating ribs, and this rib cage protects very soft organs of the body that are lungs and heart. Next, if we talk about the limbs majorly, that is forelimb and hind limb. If we talk about forelimb, it consists of this shoulder bone or you can say collar bone. Then this is the humerus, this is radius, ulna, this is the wrist bone, and these are the bones of the hand. Similarly, in the case of femur, as you know that femur is the largest bone of the body and smallest bone of the body is the stapes which is present in the femur bone, then tibia, fibula, ankle and bones of the foot. Now these different bones are joined with each other with some joints. For example, the bone to bone. One bone is attached to the another bone with the help of ligaments. Ligament is the connection between the bones. And one bone is attached to the muscles with the help of tendons. Tendons are the joints which helps to join bones with the muscles. One more thing is about the cartilage. Cartilage are the soft endings of the muscle. As you can see, this is a muscle. These endings, these soft endings of the muscles are known as cartilage. For example, the pinna of your ear is made up of cartilage, and these cartilage helps in absorption of shock, also known as shock absorber, and also they reduce the friction between the bones because bones are joined with each other. So these reduce the friction between the two bones. Okay, now if we talk about the joints, there are three kinds of joints. One is immovable, second is slightly movable, and the third is immovable. Now, immovable joints, the joints which are immovable means they cannot move from their place, they are fixed at a place. For example, most of the joints of the skull are immovable joints except this lower jaw. If I talk about slightly movable joints, it means they can move slightly from their place. For example, the bones of this ribs which are attached to the chest bone. Only slight movement can be there, as we can see in the process of inhalation and exhalation. During inhalation process, they can move slightly outward, and during inhalation process, the ribs can move slightly inward. So these are slightly movable joints. And if I talk about freely movable joints, there are four types. One is hinge joint, second is ball and socket joint, third is pivotal joint, and the last one is the gliding joint. So one by one I will take. First is the hinge joint. Hinge joint is the joint that is mainly present in the your knee and elbow. It means the joint which move only in one place. The movement takes place only in one plane. For example, up and right, backward and forward, like this elbow. So the elbow joint, finger joint and the knee joint are the main examples of hinge joint. Next, if I talk about ball and socket joint, what happens in this? There is a rounded portion of one joint, one bone is fixed to the hollow cavity of the next bone. For example, the shoulder joint. What happens to this humerus joint? This humerus is having a rounded structure at one side and it is fixed in the hollow cavity of this collarbone. So the shoulder bone, humerus joint and the femur joint. Femur joint is also attached with the rounded and fixed with this hollow cavity of this pelvic bone or hip bone. So all these three are examples of ball and socket joint. Next is the pivotal joint. What happens in pivotal joint? In this, the conical portion of one bone is fixed to the dent or circular dent of the another bone. For example, the neck joint. The neck joint is an example of pivotal joint because we can move our neck in all the directions, forward, backward, in round position. So it can move in all the planes. So neck joint is the example of pivotal joint. And the last is the gliding joint. Gliding joint is the joint which can move side to side as well as forward and backward. For example, the ankle joint and this wrist joint. These are the examples of the gliding joint. So these were different joints. And lastly, I would like to say vertebrates and invertebrates. Those organisms which have this vertebral column or the backbone in them, they are known as vertebrates, and those